Hey there, cozy babe, and welcome back to the coziest, vibiest, autumnal corner of the internet. My name is Kloee Taylor, and today we are going to be looking at, apparently you have recently been dumped or heartbroken or something has happened, and we're going to basically see what kind of healing would be best for you right now. What would your focus be best used for right now? There might be a potential of answers of like possible reconciliation coming through, though unsure because we don't know what's in each pile yet. But that's mainly what we're going to be getting to the bottom of in this video. And I just really want to take a moment to be delicate with you and be, sit with you and remind you that you are strong. You are going to make it through this. And, heartbreak sucks. None of us like it. Most of us have been through it. And you're going to make it through this too, regardless of what happens next. So we're going to go ahead and get to the bottom of that in this reading. Pile number 1 has an amethyst rose. I'll show it to you. Pile number 2 has an aura quartz heart. Pile number 3 has a piece of Super 7, which Super 7, if it would focus, there we go. Super 7 is actually a combination of 7 different crystals. I'm not sure what all 7 of them are, to be honest with you. I just know that quartz and amethyst are part of it. So I will possibly be able to put that in the video right here, what it actually all is. And then the last one is a rose quartz heart. So you can choose based off of the crystals. You can choose based off of the timestamps. You can choose based off of maybe the thumbnail you saw and you knew which pile was for you. It's also okay to choose multiple. And please know, if you have a resistance to a certain pile, that often means that there is a message for you within it. So keep your heart open to that. I'm going to go ahead and churn up a little bit of soft music that you can sit with for a moment to make your decision if you haven't already. And then you're going to head to the description and choose based off of the timestamps pile 1, 2, 3, or 4. Pile number 1, your reading is different from everyone else's in the sense that it's starting different and it's a lot shorter. And there's a reason for that because you're actually getting something really special in your reading. And I would encourage you, if you chose this pile and you feel like there's still another message, definitely choose another pile after you get this, because this reading, you only got 4 cards. This is all that your reading is, but you're also getting something extra for healing. So you got the cards. Let me actually show these to you just so you can see them a little bit better for yourself. So you got the card of healing. You also got the card of grieving. You also got the card of closure. You also got the card of protection. So whoever has broken up with you, maybe you even broke up with them, you are hurting. I do not see reconciliation in your future with this person. This is somebody that is genuinely not good for you. They maybe have really done a lot or hurt you in some way. And what you need right now more than anything is healing. And if you didn't know, I'm a practicing witch, and I've brought you an intention candle with your reading, and it's going to burn during all the other piles. If you want to keep an eye on it, you can. But This is a black candle. If you've never seen an intention candle before on my channel, or any kind of spell crafting on my channel before, maybe you're new here. Basically what we're going to do with this candle is, for all of you that chose this pile, that feel like you want to participate, of course, we are going to put our intentions for healing into this, because I can tell that you're really distraught. I can tell that you've really been hurt. I can feel the energy is very heavy. You're having to take life one day at a time right now, maybe even hour by hour, because it just sucks and it hurts right now. And this is really meant to kind of boost your healing and help you. So what we're going to do is just take a moment with this candle. I'm going to hold it for us, of course. And I want you just to take a moment, close your eyes, and imagine. And if you can't imagine, you can say it out loud. Some people have, I believe it's aphantasia is what it's called, where you can't imagine. So if imagining is something that you can't do, you can say these things aloud. Just imagine a gold or a white light surrounding you. This is a light that is meant for healing. This is light that is meant to cleanse your aura. It is meant to also protect you from any more harm coming to you, especially from this person. And just go ahead and take a deep breath. And just, if it feels right, give yourself a hug. I feel like, we really discount how much self-soothing can actually help us. So I'm just lighting the bottom of this candle a little bit so that it will stand up straight in the holder. But we really underestimate, I feel like, how much self-soothing actually helps us. And a lot of us are drawn to like numbing pain or hiding from it or not feeling it. And the only way you're going to get through this is by feeling it all and allowing yourself to let this emotional wave pass through you. Because emotions actually don't stay. They are waves or currents that pass through the body. But the problem is that most of us have been conditioned to suppress and not let the wave run all the way through. And so right now, if you feel like you need to cry, if you feel like you need to release anything, if you feel like you got to scream, grab a pillow, scream it out. If you feel like, or if you're in a space where you feel like you can scream, please do. But ultimately, sorry, I just noticed that my plant, a piece of it was hanging over this candle and it was getting a little tarnished on the top. But basically, whatever you feel like your body needs to naturally do to release, let yourself do that now. And just know that this intention is going to reach you. Whatever intention you set for healing is going to reach you. So I'm going to go ahead and light this for us. And I'm going to actually use this candle to light it. Ooh, that one was really slow to catch, which is fine. It just means that the healing might take a little bit of time, And I feel like with these things, that's very common, that they take time. It takes time for healing to happen, and that is okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just try to put this up here so we can still kind of see it throughout the reading. So if you want to check on it later in the video, even if you don't listen to those piles, you can. But I'm going to go ahead and just let that burn in this reading, and just know that healing is coming. It's okay to grieve. This is your closure and you are being protected. So thank you so much, pile number 1. I appreciate you. I love you. I'm sending so much love your way. You will make it through this. Things will be okay again. You will smile again. You will laugh again. I promise. And please do not forget, when you stand on your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. All right, pile number 2, if you chose the Aura Quartz, this is going to be your reading. So first and foremost, we basically have a few cards that are just going to kind of catch a beat on what's going on right now. So we have the card of I feel the same. I'm just going to tell you right now, bestie, I feel like this is what you're hoping for. You're hoping that this other person that you have broken up with, or they have dumped you, you're hoping they feel the same and possibly want reconciliation. Absolutely not. I'm not laughing at you. I swear to you, I'm a Gemini moon. I get the funeral giggles. I chuckle when cards are quite literal, but I promise I'm not laughing at you or you're like the situation, because I know that this has been hard, but absolutely not. And don't go back. So I think ultimately you were kind of hoping like, oh, maybe they feel the same. Maybe we'll be in reconciliation. No, this person, absolutely not. They are not wanting to reconcile with you. They're also just not good for you, period. I can really feel that in this energy of your reading. That I noticed also that your crystal, even this one that you chose, it's kind of dinged up. Like this little heart is like chipped up and broken. I honestly feel like this person has broken your heart more than once, and you keep going back. And this is the final straw. This is the time where we are not going back another time. It's over. It's done. And I do feel that you are, from this card anyways, you are out of your comfort zone with this. You know what inevitably must be done. You know, I don't even need to tell you. You knew coming here that you were not going to get a reconciliation reading because you know. And I feel like, honestly, like, yes, you're hurting, but I think there's also a lot of shame that you're holding on to where you're like, oh my gosh, how could I be so dumb? You're not dumb. This person just doesn't know how to act and constantly disappoints you and then promises you the moon. You are a kind, loving, genuine, generous person. And so you want to believe it. You see the best in people first and foremost. And unfortunately, because you constantly hold on to the image of the best version of themselves that they could be, it's like you are always waiting for them to change into that person, and they won't. You're out of your comfort zone right now. You know inevitably that you cannot go back to them, and it does feel uncomfortable. Like, this is normal. It is normal when you split up from somebody or they break up with you or what have you. Also, your guides, I don't know if you heard that, but my computer went da-da-da-da-da. And anytime we get like a siren or a loud noise in readings, just know that your guides are like, yes, that is like, guides have the power to mess with like lighting, electricity, notifications, like that kind of energy is easy for them to manipulate. So when we get like a ding or a message like that, just know that your guides are like, ayo, listen. So like, it's normal to feel out of your comfort zone when you've had a routine and you've had something that you've been doing with someone. You know, it's normal when you separate from that to feel completely out of your element and out of your comfort zone. This is normal and it's okay. I will be telling you in this reading how to get through this. So we also have your inner world is safe, embracing all your emotions to create a state of flow. So right now, it is really about tending to your inner landscape, tending to the shadow self, tending to the part of you that hurts. And I cannot recommend enough, pile number 2. I am not just trying to sell you on something. I actually really hate the nature of my job when I feel like I have to sell something. I have a relationship with that is not healed. And I will tell you, just because I'm sensing this in the reading, I do have a guide on my website, KhloeTaylor.com, that is called The Authentic Self. It has some guided meditations as well as a like 22, I think, page workbook that goes with it that actually helps you do kind of a version of like parts work. Obviously, I'm not a therapist, so I can't lead you through that in like a therapeutic way, but doing this kind of work, it will help you understand your inner landscape and also help you to embrace the side of you that is hurting and like accept that side of yourself, love that side of yourself. And in doing that, you're actually going to start to feel better. So if you feel like you feel called to that and that's like a helpful resource, please pick it up on my website. The link is always down below for you. But with your inner world is safe, embracing all of your emotions, it's going to be key to getting through this right now. That is going to be very important. Now, the next 4 cards, these are going to be your pillars of healing, okay? These next 4 cards are going to be the way that you're actually going to move through this in a safe and consistent way. They're going to be the pillars, the backbone of you actually getting better. So please really listen to these, and like, even if you need to take out your phone's notepad and just listen to my voice, because I think YouTube has background play Actually, that might only be a premium feature. I'm sorry. But if you're able to pull out like a pen and a paper, write these down and actually ask yourself how you can implement these pillars into your life, because I promise you, if you heed this, you are going to heal so much faster. This is going to get better so much faster. So number one, we have family. So your first pillar is going to be family. Now this could be blood relatives, but it doesn't have to be. If you do not have a good relationship with your family, this does not mean, oh my gosh, I just got dumped, I'm already hurting, let me go back to my toxic ass family. No. If your family is no good for you, it's time to cultivate the family around you, the community around you, the friends that you might have. And I will say, if you're like, I'm friendless, I've got nothing, please, please know that you are not the last person on earth to feel what you feel. Be, the kind of person that only likes certain things. There are people that want to love you. You have not met every person in your lifetime that will love you yet. I promise. I don't care if you are, 13 or, my readings are not made for 18 and under, so I should care. I don't care if you're 18 or if you're 102. Like, you have not met every person that's going to love you yet. And within that, you can create your own family. You can create your own family. You can create your own community of people that want to love on you. So knowing that, please, even if you're just at home, join a Discord, join a Twitch stream, go somewhere where there are other people hanging out and join those communities. Obviously, you're always welcome in my community. I'm currently streaming every day for the next 33 days on Twitch. Link is always down below for you. It's twitch.tv/the Literally the same people, for the most part, show up to those streams every single day. So you could meet with the same people every day that are also in gratitude, working on their healing. My community is a great place for that, but you don't have to go through me. Pick something that you like and join into that, or go to your local coffee shop. If they have a bulletin board, look at what local events are going on and get involved. The thing you don't want to do here is isolate, because when you feel like you are loved and supported with people around you, it's not an isolated feeling. Isolating and staying at home is actually going to hinder your ability to move through this. So do not stay home and isolate. I know it feels tempting, but don't do it. Okay. Next we have transform. So oh gosh, the butterfly. I love the analogy of the butterfly. It's the fucking worst, pardon my French. It's the worst because butterflies are caterpillars, right? They're caterpillars first. And then they become goo. Literally, they cocoon, they become goo inside of their cocoon. And then they become the butterfly. And did you know, and I think I've talked about this before, did you know that butterflies, when they're coming out of the cocoon and they have to struggle to get out, if you actually released a butterfly from their cocoon and helped them, it would stifle their ability to fly, because it is in that struggle that their wings actually get strengthened so they're able to fly. So during this transformation, literally your healing is in the struggle. And I know how crazy that sounds, but sometimes, number one, you just need to let yourself be goo. Sometimes you just have to be the goo. You ever had a day where you just wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, everything feels like it sucks. My body hurts. I'm tired. Literally just be like, you know what? Today's a goo day. I got to be goo today. That's okay. Kloee Taylor said that I can be goo today. Now that doesn't mean isolate. You can still call your family up when you're being goo, but sometimes you just have a goo day. Maybe you got a goo couple of days. Maybe you need to go through being the goo for a few weeks. It's okay. It's okay if you feel like the goo. The goo is good. This means that you're on your healing journey. Okay. Gosh, please leave me a comment down below if any of this is hitting and you're like, I'm the goo queen. It's me. Please leave me a comment and tell me about the goo. Confuse everybody else that didn't pick this pile. But your transformation is another pillar for you. So how you're going to transform through this experience, how it's going to change and up-level your life. Because notice this butterfly is in stunning color. So from this experience, you're not just going to be like, damn, I loved and I lost and this really messed me up. No, your life is only going to improve after this experience. So like embrace the transformation. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What has it taught me? Okay, next we have blessings, which I feel like this is like less of a pillar. Still write it down if you're writing these pillars down, but ask yourself in your life where you are currently being blessed. What do you currently have? Do you have a cell phone? Do you have a laptop? Do you have internet access? Do you have fresh drinking water, fresh water for cleaning your body, like a running shower? Do you have food in your cupboards, food in the fridge? Are you able to get a decent meal? Do you have at least one person that you could call if you're struggling? These are things that not everybody has. And granted, I don't think that like somebody not having or you having, like we don't need to compare and contrast and make our pain worse or better. But when you start to notice how blessed you are, it basically changes your neural pathways to stop focusing so heavily on what you don't have. And I can attest to this. Like truly, I hate to bring it up again. I swear this is not just one big ad. I swear I'm only bringing this up because it's relevant. But my Twitch stream, we've been streaming now for 20 days as of today when I'm filming this, which you'll see it a couple days later. But we've been streaming for 20 days. And every day at 2 p.m., we do a gratitude practice together. For the most part, sometimes the time changes based on like things I have to do. But for the most part, 2 p.m. Pacific every day. We're doing 33 days in a row. The stream and I, we sit, they chat with me. They tell me what they're grateful for. I tell them what I'm grateful for. We do a gratitude practice. We hold each other accountable. And when I started this practice 20 days ago, I was on the brink of probably one of the worst depressive episodes I've ever been in. I am a completely different person now. I feel happier. I focus more on the joy. I focus more on what I do have. And it's not about toxic positivity or spiritual bypassing. These are like the foundational building blocks that make life feel better. And I know everybody's like, oh, if you just got some sunlight and went for a walk and drank water and expressed gratitude, everything would be better. But like, have you actually tried it? Have you actually tried it? Because I got to tell you, that shit makes me so mad when I'm in a bad mood and then I go for a little hot girl walk and I'm like, why am I mad that this actually made my brain feel better? So count your blessings, do the gratitude. If you need accountability, join the Twitch stream. And then lastly, we also have your fourth pillar as well. Not lastly, I have more cards, but we have the fourth pillar as answers. So basically, you need to sit down and ask yourself, what are things in your life that you have not had answers to? Not like big, existential questions, not like that. I mean, maybe if that really suits your fancy, if that like gets your wheels turning, but like maybe you've always wanted to learn how to tumble and polish rocks. Okay. Maybe you've always wanted to learn witchcraft. Maybe you've always wanted to learn, how to write novellas. Maybe you've always wanted to learn how to do Reiki. Maybe you've always wanted to learn astrology. Maybe you've always wanted to learn book binding. Okay. But don't be trapping anybody in the library basement. Okay. If any of y'all have seen that show, you are the real ones. I literally keep Netflix just for that show. So good. It's called You. And if you haven't seen it, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But in any case, where in your life have you had questions about things, but you've never taken the route to try to learn? Because this pillar, it's your curiosity pillar. And when you ask questions and actually seek answers, you're going to find that life is actually so exciting. I feel like it's in that void, sad space when we're not questioning and things feel terrible. That's what brings you out of the void, is when you start to get curious about something. So ask yourself these, and it might not come right away. You might not have like a million answers right away or a million questions right away, but just know that you, through this experience, just keep a list, keep a running list on your phone, and just know that like something is going to catch your fancy. Something is going to make you curious enough to want to try something. And then we do have a few more cards. We're not done. So I just want to pull a few from just like a typical tarot deck, like a Rider-Waite-Smith here, just to see what else. So those are your 4 pillars that we've gone over, but I just want to see with the tarot if there's anything else that's like, you know, what could help in the right now. We're going to pull these top 3. The Magician, the 8 of Wands, the Ace of Swords. Okay, so the Magician is the card of manifestation. It's manifesting yourself better, manifesting things feeling better. This is possible. You can do this. You can, I mean, please know that this is not meant to like cancel out manifestation or cancel out mental health help or anything like that. If you feel like you need to reach out for support and help in that way, please do. I am not a mental health professional, but you can work to manifest feeling better. You can work to manifest actually getting into a more positive state of being. And oftentimes it actually is through doing the shadow work, doing the transformational work, but still. So the 8 of Wands, this is actually opportunity. So Spirit is saying, again, don't stay home and isolate. Seek out every opportunity that you can and fill up your time with experiences right now. And lastly, Ace of Swords, you need to get a journal. You need to get a journal and you need to be writing out how you feel, because something else, when you journal things, it's not just to help you right now, which it will, but future you, when you read back on those entries, I promise it will happen. When you read back on those entries in the future, you're going to be like, damn, I am so proud of that version of myself who chose to do all of this for me, who chose to take care of me, who chose to do this healing work, who chose to put the effort in for me. I literally just went through this recently. I pulled out a journal from 2007 when I was going through my first relationship. And not only was I a toxic child, I was like 15 at the time, less than half my age right now. And I was going through it. I was not like, you know, of course I was toxic. What 15-year-old wasn't a little toxic when we don't fully know what we're doing yet? But it was so awesome to see that version of myself also take care of me, because I didn't have, you know, hands-on parents. I didn't have the support structure that I needed. But at the end of the day, even at 15, I knew that I had me. And I don't know where that came from other than my spiritual team, truly. I have so many. I honestly, maybe someday on the Patreon, we'll like read through my old journals, because sometimes I say the funniest shit in there. But get a journal, please get a journal. And if you're not a journaler, start using your audio voice notes on your phone. Start recording yourself talking if that's easier, and reflect on those in the future. And it's going to help you right now to get the emotions out, but it will also help future you to see how you did it if like things in your life don't turn out in the way that you planned, or maybe you just need to see that you're able to overcome things in the future. It will help you on both accounts. So that being said, I feel like, where do I want to put these? I'm always trying to place the cards like aesthetically for us. Okay. And then lastly, we have one card from your spirit guides, and this is about helping you to reach that inner state of peace. Excuse me. We have card number 15, which is, you can make it through. Your higher self is always guiding you. What wisdom does your higher self have for you? I'm serious, y'all. Please get the journal. Get the journal and ask yourself, before you start writing, take your pen and like hold it with your whichever hand that you write with, left or right, and just say, Spirit, please write through me and to me what I need to hear right now, what I need to know right now. And then just let yourself free flow write. You can do this with speaking as well. If you feel like you're proficient at channeling, this can also work really well with speaking. But if you don't feel like you know how to channel, that might be a little harder. I find that writing is easier, but your higher self does want to guide you. Your higher self literally led you to this reading. Your higher self has always got you. It always has your back. You always have you. I promise. I feel like I've been making a lot of promises during your reading. I think you need, like, You need in your life somebody that like holds you down basically in a good way. And it's not going to come from someone else. It's going to come from yourself. And I know that might be a hard pill to swallow, but I promise you have you. You will always have you. You go to sleep every night with yourself. You wake up every morning with yourself. The more that you hone this relationship with yourself and stop looking for parts of you outside of yourself in someone else, the sooner you're actually going to attract the right person who will love you the way that you desire to be loved. And that is the reading I have for you, pile number 2. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope that everything works out, that you start feeling better soon. And if you would like to support me, follow me around the web, please consider joining my Patreon. That is the best way to support my work. I offer extra exclusive content there, multiple things every single month, master classes, extra pick a cards, tarot and astrology. And sometimes we vlog and do mentorship stuff. Like if you're a creator and have questions, I have a mentorship series that I also run where you're allowed to ask questions. So definitely check that out. Link is always down below. Of course, I have my stream, my podcast, what else? My podcast, my Instagram, my website where you can get courses and readings. And I feel like I'm probably forgetting something important, but just check all the links down below. If there's something that you want, I'm sure I've got something for it. I feel like I am the jack of all trades, but the master of none, but that is better than being the master of one. Also, all of these decks are linked down below too. I always try to do my best to make sure I spotlight any of the decks that I use in any of my readings. And I think that's everything. If you'd like to tip me because this reading helped you out, obviously that always helps me too. Links for all of that are down below as well. And please do not forget pile number 2, when you stand on your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. And I will talk to you in the next one. Bye. All right, pile number 3, if you chose the Super 7, this is going to be your reading. So first and foremost, we have a few of these Cupid Says oracles just to kind of get a beat on what's going on, what you're feeling, how things are going. We have there are no what ifs. So this might be a hard pill to swallow, especially if you've recently been dumped or heartbroken. And it's that you can spiral on the what ifs literally for the rest of your life, but they are not the actual reality. And doing this isn't helping you right now. It is hindering you, but we're going to get to the bottom of that in this reading. I promise. So we have, I'm really sorry. I think you are also feeling bad about things you said or did, maybe out of anger or out of feeling really hurt. Remember that anger is just the armor for hurt. So even if you said things out of anger, every time, doesn't matter who it is, when you're angry, it's that a part of you is hurt. So you may not get the opportunity to say that you're sorry to this person that you're split away from now, but ultimately, like, it's okay that you feel sorry, but realize that this isn't all your fault. It takes 2 to tango. And then we also have, I want to give up. And with this, please do not give up on yourself. I'm so happy that you're here in this reading. I'm happy that you're here because I believe that from where you are right now, this reading will change your life. It will give you the pillars for which to focus on and what to move through at this time. Do not give up on yourself. I'm going to say it again. Do not give up on yourself. Please do not give up on yourself. You are worth so much. You're allowed to feel down in the dumps. You're allowed to feel sorry for yourself. You're allowed to feel like you want to give up, but don't. It's most important that you don't. Okay, now we also have a couple more cards. We have protect your assets with don't be careless with what you've worked hard for. So right now you might feel so terrible that you are like, just let them have anything. Let them have whatever they want. I don't care. You will regret that decision in the future. Your higher self and your guides are here reminding you that you have worked hard for things in your life. You will move through these feelings and you will have regrets. Protect yourself and protect your assets. You are worth fighting for. And then we also have think outside the box. You have yet to discover valuable tools. I know when you're in it, y'all, I know that when you're in it, it feels impossible. It feels like you will never see the sunshine again. It feels like you will be sucked of joy for the rest of your life. You will not. You will not. And it's time to just get a little more creative and think outside the box about this situation. Thinking outside of where you've been, I'm really getting the sense that some of you that chose this pile are actually going through like a divorce separation, and you've been with this person for a really long time because you got protect your assets and think outside the box here. So you might even have like conjoined assets. Maybe you were the person that actually messed up and they were like, maybe you got caught cheating. Maybe something really crazy went on and you were the person that actually really messed up this time. And even if that's true, I need you to know, pile number 3, all of us are capable. Every last one of us is capable of being a bad person. Every single one of us is capable of being toxic. Every single one of us is capable of doing the wrong thing. And though this does not excuse all behavior, I just don't want you to feel so alone and so isolated and like you deserve what's happening. Because sometimes there are consequences to our actions that we have to deal with, but you're still valuable. You're still valid. You are still a person with feelings and emotions, and you are still allowed to want things for yourself. Being ashamed and berating yourself constantly is not going to help you. So protect your assets. There are things that you have worked hard for that you're allowed to have claim towards, even if you're the person that made a mistake. And think outside the box. I feel like you don't know who you're going to be without this person, and you're afraid of that. Even if it's been a really long time, I promise, yes, you're going to have to build a different life than it has looked before. And that is scary, right? We always want to go with what is comfortable, but you can think outside the box on this one. You can design a new life, even if you've been together for 10, 15, 20 years. Yes, your life is going to look dramatically different now, but you can design a new life for yourself. Now, the next 4 cards, these are going to be your pillars. So just like I told pile number 2, please get your notepad out, get a pen and a paper, because if you write these down and actually take some notes on them, this is where you're going to start feeling better. Okay. So number 1, the first pillar that's going to help you, we have this card. If it would focus, please. There we go. Come on. We have the card of clarity. So your first pillar is going to be getting really, really, really clear. And this might take some time. This might take some dedication. But ultimately, getting your feelings out, whether that is like penning emails and not sending them, or I do that a lot actually. If I feel like I've been hurt or wronged or I've messed up, I'll draft text messages. My goodness. If y'all could see my text message drafts that I have almost sent to my own mother, scathing sometimes. And I end up deleting them and often saying nothing because I get it out. I don't let these things stew in my body. And you are meant to gain clarity through soul searching, through looking at yourself, through noticing who you are. I would even say, if you feel called to it, possibly hiring a coach or a mental health professional to help you gain more clarity on the situation. Because I don't think you're thinking very clearly right now. Then we have finding. So I think this has more to do with finding yourself, finding your joy. You're being put on this path right now because you haven't discovered parts of yourself that exist. And with this person, you were never going to be able to do it. So right now, another pillar that you have is going to be about exploring yourself. So not even just yourself, but exploring the land, exploring the town or community that you live in, exploring relationships, exploring new foods that you've never tried. Okay. Maybe there were places that your ex never wanted to go to, and now you get to search those. You get to work on that. You get to have those experiences. I would highly encourage you once per week with this finding to have a date with yourself, even if it's just at home doing whatever. have a date with yourself. This is like a very, very healing thing, and it can be really scary at first. I actually have a vlog on my Patreon where I wasn't like broken up or anything, but I've started taking myself on dates. And the first one I ever did, I was so afraid to go out by myself. I was so afraid to get out of the car. I ended up buying myself grocery store sushi and sitting in my car for the whole 2 hours. And that was okay. That was as far as I could go that day. But now that I've worked on that, I haven't updated and done another vlog. I guess I should. I go out all the time by myself. I take myself out to lunch. I go to little stores that I want to visit. I talk to my local community. Sometimes I drive out to other places and talk to like farther away community. It is so good. Like you can find that for yourself. It's just going to take actually searching. Okay, then we have courage. Okay, so what makes you feel courageous? I would also say confidence falls under this because we have the lion card, and lions always remind me of the astrological sign of Leo, which is like the courageous and confident sign. So finding your courage. You have not had to explore your bravery for a very long time, or your courage for a very long time. And this experience is forcing you to have to become courageous. So I would ask you honestly to explore that. What courage means to you. What does it mean to stand up and have courage? What does it mean to you to be courageous? I would also say that this is a strong pull to balancing the masculine inside of you. Everybody has feminine and masculine, yin and yang, fire and water. Everybody has that. It's not gender specific. And oftentimes in society, most people are operating from their wounded masculine. And when you have actual courage, this is like the masculine side of you. And when it actually is like authentic courage. So this could also very much have to do with healing your masculine, healing your divine masculine, and forcing yourself to have to become your own provider, your own protector, and just doing things like you've never done it before. Then we have compassion. So I really feel like this person that you were with, they sucked the compassion right out of you because you actually have so much of it and you have so much you want to give, but they would either just take, or they would not consider you, or they would take from you. And with compassion, you are going to have to learn how to get back to that. Now, there is such thing as compassion fatigue. I actually went through this myself last year. I had such intense compassion fatigue, and it was mostly from like being overwhelmed by the state of the world, being overwhelmed by all of my friends struggling, being overwhelmed by my partner struggling, and then me constantly feeling like I was this endless supply of compassion for everyone and every situation and every world event. This left me so depleted that I was angry. And remember, anger is just the armor for hurt. I wanted rest so badly. I took 3 months off last year. And yes, technically I still posted things. I was really far scheduled out in my work, so I was able to kind of set it and forget it. But it took a lot of effort to be able to even do that, like 80-hour weeks, if not more, constantly to get to that place of being able to do it. But I felt like the most peace I have ever felt in my life. I literally told all of my friends, I need a break. I will not be reaching out. Do not talk to me. I said it a lot nicer than that, but I just kind of went into a cocoon space for about 3 months. And then I was able to come back out and have more self-compassion, more compassion for others. And now I'm a lot more careful about where I put my energy and who I give it to and when I say yes to things, because I was overbooking myself constantly in the name of being compassionate. So if this sounds like you have to get back first to being compassionate towards yourself and then rebuild that relationship with compassion. So your pillars, I feel like, are a lot more like mental and emotional versus actually doing a ton of physical things. But I think ultimately it's what's needed from you right now. It's what's needed from you right now. And we're going to go ahead and see a few more cards. I just want to pull from this deck as well, just to see, what else you could be focusing on right now. If there's anything like tangible, physical. Ooh, oh my gosh. The Lovers just like flew out the deck. So we'll hold on to that one. Okay, what about the Lovers, Spirit? What about the Lovers? Let's go ahead and pull these 2 cards. Okay, so we have the Lovers, we have Death, and we have the 4 of Cups. Honestly, there is no reconciliation with this person, because with Death, it is the ultimate transformer. And not that nobody's dying. It's not that. But with the 4 of Cups, I feel like there is a lot of dissatisfaction from you about this, because I think ultimately you fear the transformation so much that you want to just stay in your comfort zone. You want to just stay comfortable and like basically let yourself go back to somebody that doesn't treat you right. And the thing is, if you do this, if you go back, you're just going to end up in the same boat as before, and you're going to be miserable. The 4 of Cups is a miserable card. It is like emotional misery. Do not do this to yourself. Spirit is like, nah, you need to be told again. Do not do this to yourself. Okay. And then we also have a card from your spirit guides, which is card number 10. And it says, out of the woods, you've made it through. What newness is emerging? So let me show it to you a little bigger. It makes me think of that Taylor Swift song. Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? My husband always makes fun of that song. I'm going to actually grab the book for this one. Sorry if you can't hear me as well. I've got my mouth tipped away from the mic because I want to get the guidebook. I just want to read on this one a little bit because I would like to, I feel like I'm just being pulled to the book. So we're going to read a little more on that. Okay. You have worked extremely hard to get where you are right now, and the pressure has been released. You are free of the burdens that weighed you down. It may not feel like you are fully clear of the difficulty, but this card signifies you are much further along than you realize. The past is no longer affecting you, and you are able to move forward. Take this time to celebrate as you enter a brand new phase of your life. You've grown and learned valuable life lessons. Thank your past for the blessings in disguise and celebrate that you are no longer stuck. Congratulations, this is a beautiful time. You have arrived at a new level of peace where things that used to affect you in negative ways are no longer holding you back. You've learned from the past and can now gracefully exit its confines and step into all that you are meant to be. Take this time to step forward with hope, happiness, and dedication to well-being. This is a time of freedom and new beginnings. Consider the past behind you. No more closure is needed, and it is your highest good to move forward. Place your hand on your heart and repeat this mantra. I'm grateful for my strength and honor my well-being. I am proud of how far I've come, and I appreciate all of my experiences. My resilience is my superpower. All is well. I am at peace. So that is I feel like a glimpse into your future a little bit. Spirit also really wanted you to know that there is no other closure. There is nothing else that you need to look for. There is nothing else this person can give you. And it's time to close the book and open a new one because it's done. And that is the reading I have for you, pile number 3. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like to support me more as a creator, please consider joining my Patreon. That is the best place to support me. You get exclusive pick-a-cards as well as sometimes I'll do vlogs. I do mentorship content where you can ask questions and I make videos in response. I also do master classes there. And when you join, you get access to every post I've ever done. So I think we're at over 400 posts at this point. And it just really supports me as a creator. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cough still 7 weeks later. Can you believe it? But please join if you feel called to do that. And I also have my website, my Twitch streams, of course, twitch.tv/the Cozy Babes Club. We're live every day at 2 p.m. where we do gratitude practice together. My Instagram, I'm at Kloee Taylor. My website, you can get courses and book tarot card readings, astrology readings as well. And is there anything else? I don't think I have forgotten to mention anything. Oh, my podcast, available everywhere you listen to podcasts. It's called the Cozy Babes Club. We're 170 episodes in. I would love for you to tune in. It's available on Apple, Spotify, everywhere that you could want to listen to a podcast. And if this helped you out, honestly, probably the best way to help aside from Patreon is to send a tip. If you got it, send a tip. You can tip through here. I also have my Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal, all linked down below for you. Never an expectation, always appreciated. And please do not forget, when you stand on your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. And I will talk to you in the next one. Bye. All right, pile number 4, if you chose the rose quartz, this is going to be your reading. So we're going to start out with some of the Cupid Says Oracle, just to kind of get a beat on where you are right now. And we have take a leap. So I do feel like even if you've been, broken up with, dumped, you're broken, you're feeling a little hurt, it's actually time to take a little bit of a leap of faith. We also have, I've lost faith. So that really goes hand in hand with that one. And keep your head up and look forward. So this is interesting because I feel like you've kind of lost faith in love, maybe even lost faith in yourself. Like, I feel like this breakup actually hurt really bad, and it made you feel like you don't know how to pick a good match, or like something is wrong with you. And the thing is, sometimes we are meant to just learn a lesson, and it doesn't actually say anything about you. It should say more that you should be asking yourself, why are you so quick to judge yourself? Why are you so quick to think that you did this and that it didn't take two people? And yes, maybe you've lost a little bit of faith in love or in relationships right now, but you're also looking in the wrong place. Do you know anybody personally that's in a committed, healthy relationship? Even if you can name one person, you might not even know them personally. I mean, shit. If you need to use me and my husband, go for it. We've been together since we were 16, and we actually, next month, it'll be 16 years. We will actually just finally be at a point where we have been together longer every day after our anniversary in April. We will have been together longer than we have been apart. And if you don't have that example, I'm not trying to say that we're perfect, but we've gone through things. We've talked about getting a divorce before. Let that be the example if you need to. If you don't have anybody, obviously you don't know us personally, but I promise you there are couples out there that are conscious, that are committed. Love still exists. And don't lose faith, basically. Keep your head up and keep looking forward, and don't be afraid to take a leap. Don't stop yourself from falling in love ever again because you're afraid to get hurt. But let's keep going. So we have we have quite a few more cards, but we have let me put this up here. Come on, please focus. There we go. We have, don't be afraid to use your voice. Your opinion matters. So don't be afraid to use your voice. Don't be afraid to talk about the way that you feel. Don't be afraid, even with this other person, if y'all have tried to be amicable, it's okay if they messed up and hurt you and you need to express that. I feel like something that is often lost is we think that when we express how somebody hurt us, and don't take it to social media and shit. Don't be berating someone unless they really deserve it, I guess. It's not that, but if you're going to channel it into art and you're worried about how they will react to your art and your expression, remind yourself, if somebody's afraid about how you're going to talk about them and is going to get mad about it, maybe they should have acted better. Maybe they should have been kinder. Maybe the breakup should have been a little more amicable. You feel me? So don't be afraid to use your voice. Don't let anybody Ursula Sea Witch you. We're not doing that. Not on today. Not on this here, the Lord's Day, Venus's day. Okay? The goddess's day. Today, if you didn't know, Friday's Venus's day or Aphrodite's day. Not on this here, the goddess's day. We are not doing that. Not at the Love Church. Okay? Not at the Church of Kloee Taylor. Okay. We are not doing any of that. So we also have protect your home, take care of your sacred spaces. So if your home is feeling, and I get it, like when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling heartbroken, who wants to think about doing the fucking dishes? Like nobody wants to think about that. However, even if you have to take it a corner at a time, it still will work. Cleaning up a little is better than not cleaning up at all. And even if you got to take it a little bit at a time, just like clean up your bed. Make your bed, okay? Make your bed, burn a little incense or do a little like some kind of cleansing in the room. Just make the space that you are spending the most time on or in comfortable and clean. So if you're on the couch bumming it right now, at least like straighten up some of the couch, clean up the coffee table, make the space a little more attainable, and I promise you will feel better. Also with protect your home, this can also be about like, even just asking your ancestors to like stand at the door and guard your house. That is a valid way of protecting your home. If you're somebody that does more than that, put some wards on the house, get a little witchy with it, call out to the corners, cleanse that space, etc. Honestly, home protection would be a really cool video to make, just like magical home protection. I feel like that would be a hard video to create though, because I'm really particular about what I will share and what I won't, because the thing with magic practice is like when you give all your secrets away, especially being online like this, people that mean to do you harm can get past them easier. So maybe I'll look into that. Let me know down below if that's something you want to see. But ultimately, like your home is your sanctuary right now, and it's where you're going to do most of your healing. So you need to be protecting it, taking care of it, and taking care of yourself while you're in it, because it's your ultimate healing space. So next we're going to look at the 4 pillars that are going to help and support you the most right now. Okay. So sorry, I need to cough. I've been a little under the weather, y'all. And I do not edit nothing out of these readings unless I'm really like off on some shit. I don't really edit my readings. So it's just easier and I can get the videos out faster if I don't. So these 4 pillars that I would encourage you to write these down and like explore them on your own. But ultimately, these are the things that are going to help you feel better if you commit to them. That was the intention I set with this. So we have well-being, which this is all about like literally tending to your well-being. So I always think of that. I'm sure you've seen it on social media where people talk about how when you don't feel good, when you feel heartbroken, hurt, mentally unwell, treat yourself like you would if you were sick. 1 to 3 days of couch time, watching Disney movies, wear your favorite pajamas, keep yourself cozy with your favorite blanket, get your favorite coffees, your favorite teas, meals that make you feel good. And I feel like this one's actually really important. Like, obviously, I think it's okay to have a little mac and cheese as a treat. I think it's okay, like whatever your favorite meal is, to have that. But also you want to feed yourself foods that really nourish you. And only you're going to know, like, yes, I am a certified holistic nutritionist, but I don't know you personally and I'm not your certified holistic nutritionist. So I can't tell you exactly what to eat, but like, I'll use my own body and my own self as an example. What works for me may work for you, may not. When I think of foods that are really healing, I think of things like pho. I tend to lean towards soups if the weather is good for it, which living in the Pacific Northwest, most of the time the weather is soup weather. But I tend to think of like a lot of fresh vegetables and a lot of like brothy soups. That is what I tend to turn to for healing. So I'll get like a ramen, but make sure it's packed with a ton of veggies, or a pho, or some people pronounce it pho or pho, but I think it's pho is the way you actually, or pho. Pho is actually how you say it. I go and I'll get like the vegan rendition of it from my local place. So it's more vegetable packed on purpose, or you could do, whatever, chicken, beef, whatever you like. I'll do something like that. But that tends to be really good for me. Or I'll get some bone broth, or I will make my own homemade chicken noodle soup, which is my like traditional favorite. I tend to lean towards that. I'll make my favorite teas. I'll stay away from caffeine as much. Those are things to me that are just like really healing. So whatever works for you, works for you. If you feel like it's salad, eat a salad. If you feel like that's eating more of the foods that you love, brownies, mac and cheese, go for that. I would encourage you to just do what feels right for your body and what feels like it really heals you from the inside out. And taking care of your well-being. So this also means, practicing earthing, getting outside, getting sun on your skin, if the weather permits, of course, making sure that you are just being intentional with yourself as much as you can. Then we have prosperity. So your next pillar is actually going to be paying attention to your finances. So checking on your bank, checking on your bills, making sure that your finances are still running smoothly and not letting things just go by the wayside because you don't feel well. You don't feel that you're optimal right now. Prosperity is a pillar that you're not going to want to let slip under the radar right now. Then we have reconciliation. So this is interesting because you are being told, you're the one pile that might actually end up having a reconciliation. Or here's the thing. It might not be that y'all reconcile. It's that you need to use the pillar of possible reconciliation to work through what you're dealing with. So what I mean by that is some of you might actually reconcile. Some of you may not, but you need to walk yourself through that. What would that look like if you actually did reconcile? Let yourself go there. Let yourself think about it. If you actually did reconcile, what would need to change so that you could feel safe and whole as yourself in the relationship? Because remember, I fucking hate it when people say that they have a better half or like they are half or my other half. You're not half. You were never born half. Like, are you walking around with just your torso in your head? Are you walking around as just legs and feet? No, you are not half. It makes me so crazy when people say this shit. You are not half. You are not half. You are whole and complete on your own. And it is when you meet another whole and complete individual that the real magic really happens. You are not half. Do not downgrade yourself like that. You're not half. However, what would need to change in this relationship in order for you to, like I said, in order for things to actually repair? I think a lot of times in today's culture and society, we think that relationships, especially because like the media predicts it that way or projects it that way rather, that like all relationships are just meant to be happy and smooth sailing all the time. But the reality is relationships are work. Relationships actually cause us to have to do really hard work with ourselves and with each other. It is normal to go through time periods where you do not like your significant other. It is, don't like not being like hateful and ugly and like, abusive. That's not normal. But it is normal to go through time periods where you do not like your significant other. It is normal to go through periods where they've disappointed you or you have disappointed them. It is normal to fight with your partner. Repair is part of relationships. That goes for friendships too. It's not just like romantic relationships. Friendships are like that too. It is normal to have to go through cycles of repair. And what's interesting is that's actually something I didn't learn until I was in my 30s. That like sometimes relationships require repair, friendships. And like at the sign of something going bad, it doesn't mean you just throw the whole friendship out the window. And I've definitely been guilty of that in the past, where if I didn't like something and it bothered me so much, I would just leave. And that's on being a Sagittarius rising. I've had to learn that like it's okay to sit with that discomfort in relationships, and it's okay to actually want to bring the repair to somebody else and want to work through it. And it's the people that refuse to repair that are not with it on the same page as you, like, yo, get thee hence, delete that person. But for the most part, somebody who really loves you, wants to be in your life and vice versa, they'll want to do the repair work with you. And there are relationships that can be built on that foundation. I know just in general, even in like my parents' relationship, who were my first example of a relationship, like most of us, oftentimes we'll mirror that in our relationships in our own way. And something that I have had to break in my relationship in a good way, break like a generational curse, is I never saw my parents, and to this day, I never see them do repair. I never see them kiss and make up. I never see them talk about their problems in a way that actually gets solutions. They just get angry and then brush things under the rug and move along their day. But then they are both so resentful of each other. And this is what I thought relationships were supposed to be like, because that was what was modeled to me. But I have learned in my own relationship that sometimes you do not like your significant other, but a good partner that loves you will look at you and be like, hey, I'm committed to working on this with you. I am committed to you. I am committed to us repairing this. It's not me and you against each other. It's me and you against the problem. Even if the problem is the other person, it's still the both of you as a team working through and trying to find a solution together. So the reason I'm bringing all of this up, Spirit obviously had a lot to say through me, but some of you will reconcile, but you need to know what you need from the relationship before you just, because that happens, like you talk to the person and all those feelings come back and you just want them back and you want to take them back with no change. And you have to do the repair. You can't just let your heart run out there and take the first thing that they say. So it's going to be really important and powerful for you to sit down and write out what the reconciliation could look like. So what would you need? What would you require? What kind of repair would need to be done? What would you need them to say? Who would you need them to be? Who yourself do you need to be? What do you need to change if there's something, right? That's how we can get really good results with reconciliation. And lastly, you need to embrace a new beginning, because that's really what this ultimately is. You've gone through a phase in this relationship, and now the next pillar is going to be focusing on, where do you go from here? So ask yourself, what does your life look like now? Who do you get to become now? Were there things that this person held you back from? Were there things that you hadn't tried or hadn't experienced or wouldn't get to experience? Because it's a new beginning now. New things are coming. This one might be a harder pillar to embrace right now, but it will be a pillar that you're eventually going to have to embrace in order to heal, that like new things and new opportunities can come. Okay, I felt like I just spent a really long time talking about your pillars, but y'all needed to hear that. Okay, next I'm going to use this lovely omens deck. Ooh, this candle over here be popping. Did y'all see that? She going cray. Okay, well now it's going crazy because I'm shuffling cards next to it, but we're just going to pull a few more cards to see what else we could focus on. Ooh, okay, that split really easily. I'm just going to pull the top three here. So we have 3 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 4 of Wands. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. You got the 3, 4, and 5. So this tells me, let me get this to focus. There we go. This tells me that 3, 4, and 5 of Wands, you are about to embark on a really creative time. You might find that a lot of anger rises out of you right now with that 5 of Wands, but ultimately this is for your expansion, and eventually you will get back into a state of celebration, because the 5 of Wands is anger. It is outrage. It is chaos, right? Using your voice, using your creativity to channel that. The 3 of Wands is about expansion, personal expansion, and actually like reaching new heights with yourself. And the 4 of Wands is a celebration. It's a celebration with family. It's a celebration with each other. Sometimes the 4 of Wands can even talk about marriage. So some of you that will reconcile, this might actually be, you could already be married to them and you're just separated right now. Maybe like a vow renewal will be in the future, or an actual marriage. You're going to go from like being split, and the next time, if you follow these pillars, it will actually be a reconciliation that could lead to marriage. So sometimes that happens. But you have to be willing to be mad. You got to be willing to go in and be with those feelings, right? That's the hard part. That's the hard work that we do sometimes. Okay. Anywho, we have one more card from your guides, and it is card number 18. And it says, your purpose is personal expansion. That's funny. You got the card of expansion over here. How can you be more intentional with your choices and live with more purpose? So your guides just want you to focus on that. How can you be more intentional if you didn't have like this is my life purpose? If your purpose was just to expand, how could this situation serve you right now? And that is the reading I have for you, pile number 4. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to support me as a creator, please consider joining my Patreon. The link is down below for you. I put out exclusive content, exclusive pick a cards over there, vlogs, masterclasses. We do tarot and astrology there as well. It's a really good time. There's a new video coming out for the eclipse really soon. So if you want to see that, please make sure that you head over there, join the Patreon. It's going to be a good time. It already is. And when you join, you also get access to I think we're over 400 posts now. So you get access to old masterclasses as well. And all that stuff is so juicy and so good. So check it out. I also have my podcast available everywhere you listen to podcasts, including Spotify and Apple. It's called the Cozy Babes Club. I would love to have you tune in and be a listener. We also have our live stream where I'm streaming every single day at 2 p.m. right now, doing a gratitude practice with y'all. So if 2 p.m. Pacific time. So if you want to join that, have an accountability partner, please come and join our community. It's twitch.tv/the Cozy Babes Club. Follow me on Instagram. I'm at Kloee Taylor. And if I've forgotten anything, all the links for everything will be down below. But thank you so much, pile number 4. I love you. Best of luck. Please do not forget, when you stand on your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.